Welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we will be talking about what you can do to increase your rank in the arena. Now, these are a few tips that I have developed, and I've kind of done some research on, looking at the forums, talking to some of my fellow holotablers, and just really got a really good grip on how to increase your rank. Now, I've also been following these tips, and I have gone from kind of an average of like 85, 86 to pretty close to 20 to 30 on a daily basis. Now, as I focus more and more on this, and as I use these tips more and more, I am starting to get higher and higher in the guild now, or in the arena. The first thing that you need to do, and the first thing that most players need to do, is log on to StarWarsGalaxyOfHeroes.gg, better known as SWGOH.gg. If you actually type in StarWarsGalaxyOfHeroes.gg, you won't go where you need to go. But what I love this website, and if the proprietors of this site are listening, I'd love to maybe team up with you guys. But this is a very great website. I love it all to death. You can log in here over in the top right of your corner. You can see my name right there. And when you do, there's a few really important things that you can do. You can look at your characters and look at your current arena, the highest rank, your lowest rank, your average rank, and you can look over the course of about a month, over the last 30 days, of how you're performing. And this is a really beneficial tool, because you can use this and track how effective the team you are using. If you are continually losing in the arena, then hey, guess what? This is something that you need to work on. But if you're seeing a steady increase, a steady climb, you can start to look at which teams are doing the best. So the highest, for example, that I've gotten is with a Rex lead, CLS, Kylo, a R2-D2, and Thrawn. Now, Thrawn's not 7-star. He's also not Gear 12. Neither is R2 is 7-star, but he is not Gear 12. Now, what's interesting is since I got to this highest rank, I haven't been able to hold it. But it's only been one day between this highest rank and this one, so we'll see how I do today. But I have improved, and I have done this pretty well, and I'm really excited about it. So after you've done that, after you see where you are, the next thing that you need to do is go back to the home page and actually look at the meta report. Now, I've reported on this a few times, but what you're going to see is how effective the top 100, or at least the top 50 players are. Now, this very first graph that we come to shows you the top 10 leaders at rank 1. Now you can change this to the rank 1 leaders, or the rank 1 through 10, or the rank 1 through 100, and that will change how some of these numbers show up. So if you're rank 1 through 10, it's going to show a certain thing. Rank 1 through 100, it's probably going to change a little bit, as you see here. What you can do is actually pattern your group with this meta. You can pattern your team using this information. Now, we see here rank 1 leaders. You have the topmost leader is, no doubt, Commander Luke Skywalker. There are 1,975 Commander Luke Skywalkers in the first position as a leader. Then you have 704 Kenobis, 382 Rexes, 53 Thrawns, and so on all the way down. Now, as you can see, it looks like there's a very heavy light side focus. We have Thrawn close to the top. Thrawn does break number 5. He's 4th. But then of the rest of the top 10, we don't have a dark side character outside of Thrawn. Darth Maul is the only other dark side character that we see. Now, that's probably because we've had a huge influx of Rebel characters, of First Order characters in the last few months, and that's not surprising. So, the first thing, when you come to this meta description, or this meta report, what you need to do is decide on who you want your leader to be. Now, if your leader, if you don't have a Commander Luke Skywalker, a CLS, then it doesn't make sense for you to do that, to get CLS all the way up, right? So what you're going to need to do is, in my mind, develop a team that either can have CLS replace the leader, or that doesn't necessarily require CLS. Again, you have a few other options. Now, if you look at these, the only other real viable character, especially for free to play, and especially for new toons or for new players, is Admiral Akbar and Rex. We don't have Thrawn easily accessible. He's only accessible in a legendary event. We don't have Kenobi that's easily accessible, especially if you are not in a guild that raids heroic tank. It'll be interesting. I promise it'll be interesting what we see when people start throwing Hermit Yoda in the mix. Although Hobbit Yoda would be kind of fun too. I guess he's kind of a hobbit in a sense. We don't know what race he is. He's the race of Yoda. Seeing Hermit Yoda, that might change some things, right? We may see CLS, pulled out. We may not. Also with Rolo thrown in there, I think we might also see some changes. That's what you need to do first. Find a leader. Then what I would suggest is find an alternative to that leader. Then put those two leaders in your favorite, and play around with them a little bit as you're trying to build out your team. Now, as you are deciding on a leader, what you need to do is start looking at which characters can you start to build up, can you start to develop around that leadership ability. If you choose Darth Maul as your leader, then you do not need to really be using or farming other light side characters. Now, just because he's in rank 10 now does not mean that he is going to be there forever. He is a very solid character, and the people here in this meta report really do fluctuate periodically, and so investing in a character like Darth Maul or Darth Nihilus isn't a bad idea, but it can be work and it can be difficult. So my suggestion is find a toon that you can farm effectively, and find a toon that is good in other areas. So, for example, Akbar is really good in ships, right? His ship Home One is really useful as a capital ship, especially now that we have the Hoth Territory Battle, Rebel Edition. But he's very beneficial. Same thing with Rex. Rex is a solid lead. He's also got a great ship. He's also really good in tank raids, right? So look at that, and specifically look at your crew or your current roster to figure out which group is best for you, or which character will be most beneficial for you. What you're going to specifically be looking for is how do these toons or how do these characters interact together? What benefits what synergies do they have? If you want to use R2-D2, you may want to consider using BB-8. One of the synergies that I found that works fairly well, not necessarily in the arena, but maybe that's because I haven't played around with it enough, but as a resistance team, instead of having R2-D2, throw in Emperor Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine throws down Expose often, and he is a powerful character when you get him all the way maxed out. Now, he's not the best toon, but if he's only the thing you have, that might be something that you can use in a pinch. So look for those synergies. Look for those things that are going to help you get an edge on your players, or get an edge on the people that you are against. Now, the last few tips that I have are just things that I've used in the past that have helped me, and the first one is just good advice for every single player out there, and that is to make sure you do all 5 of your daily attacks. Guys, I know it takes some time, it takes some reset, but if you're in a busy schedule and you miss out on all 5 of them, it's gonna take you a while to rise in the ranks, and so make sure you get all 5 of them. That means do a couple in the morning before you get in the shower, and do a couple at lunch, and do 1 or 2 at night, or however you need to do it. Just try to get them all in, because if you don't get every single attack in, then you're really gonna miss out on quite a few jumps in rank, because if you're winning and you're winning consistently, what's going to happen is you're going to improve probably 30 to 50 positions, especially in those higher levels. If you're in the hundreds and even the thousands and you're putting effort into it, you're going to jump, and you're going to jump quickly. The biggest gaps that I remember going through were getting from 2,000 to 1,000, then getting from 1,000 to 500, then getting from 500 to 100. That's where I really struggled. And now I'm able to do some pretty effective work. To stay around 30, 36 is usually what I do, where I find myself when I wake up in the morning. But definitely make sure you get all 5 of your attacks in each day, because otherwise you are squandering opportunity. Now, one thing that I really believe in, and I think is a really good idea, is once you have done all of your dailies, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, refresh the arena. Especially, only do this when you have time, but do a refresh for the arena. What that's going to do is that's going to give you an extra 5 attempts to really raise your rank and really get up there, right? It's only 50 crystals, and really depending on how you're doing in the arena, you're going to get that anyways. And so save it once a week, and it's going to help you, rise in the ranks. Now, don't refresh before payout. Only refresh at whenever your payout is, because you don't want to use these as a competitive edge, because oftentimes you're not going to be able to, the cost versus benefit ratio isn't in your favor before payout, but it is after payout. After payout, you have more time, you can take a leisurely approach. It's a lot better to help you there, but don't do it before, only do it after. I'm promising you, if you do this maybe once a week, every couple of weeks, you are going to see a marked improvement in your rank. It's just going to happen. Especially if you're paying attention, you're farming, you're always increasing your core team and getting them up. Now, these have just been my 5 tips to get you to increase your arena or rank in the arena. And they're the things that I've been using to get my team up, and it's been effective so far. But what are some of the tips that you've used? What are some of the methods that you've used? And definitely, what are the teams that you use? Do you follow the meta? Do you chase the meta? Are you an outsider? Are you that one guy in my shard that is an all Ewok team, and half of them are gear 12, and you're ridiculous? I hate you, but still, kudos on having such an awesome team. And once that team gets all the way geared and all the way zetaed out, I really think you're going to be a lot more formidable. Or do you have something that is, do you chase the meta? Do you have a CLS with Kenobi and all that other stuff that really does work, that really gets you all the way up? But leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to these videos, like us. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.